Erased Destiny. Chapter 11. More valuable than the life itself. Merigold woke up at lunchtime, still, tired, sore, and somewhat stricken by the magic concoction. She had no desire to leave her bed. The house was uncharacteristically quiet, as if no one but Merigold was in it. The silence suited the young adept of magic, more than even the most pleasant music. It allowed her to organize her thoughts, to rest from the flurry of sounds. The scratching in her throat, however, was so annoying that Merigold, albeit reluctantly, crawled out from under the blanket. She emptied the entire jug of compote, but the sweet, sticky drink did not bring the expected relief. The sheep's milk didn't help either, nor did water. Only a piece of bread somewhat eased the feeling of inner dryness. Before visiting Tolpes, Merigold wanted to discuss with Etienne their future plans. How should they organize their time? How to earn money? What they could achieve? Merigold was sure that her parents would be interested the most in finding her husband, and that was something she wanted to talk about as well. She sat on a big rock near the river. It was one of her favorite spots, calm yet charming.
Etienne, can you hear me?
How could I not hear you, if I live inside of you? To answer your most urgent question, if your parents make you marry someone you do not like, it is enough to go to Sintra's town hall and cancel the marriage. It can be done in 1 year after the ceremony. So do not worry about it. Duel with Torden should provide you many interesting jobs to do and decent earnings. And if not, I would organize something. For now, it is the best to rest and enjoy yourself.
Don't you have things you want to do? Some unfinished business from your previous life? Searching for Nathan?
With that, you cannot help me. To find Nathan, to do what I should be doing, I need much more power than you can offer me. So my priority for now is to separate from you, find a more suitable body. Unfortunately, I do not know how to do it yet. When you turn 16, you go to the Crystal Palace, and there I look for an answer. Till that time, I help you, as much as I can. I think this is a fair deal.
Merigold agreed to the terms presented, because she felt she has no choice. She couldn't force Etienne to do anything. She could only ask for her assistance. And she hoped that they won't separate anytime soon. Living without Etienne seemed awful to her, boring and too ordinary. Without Etienne, she couldn't raid bandits' encampments. She could only find a good husband and live peaceful life. But what was the purpose in that? Merigold returned to still empty house. She put on her apron, put 20 silvers in it, and walked slowly to Tolpes' hut to give him his share of the reward. Immediately after leaving the forest, Merigold noticed Lena hanging up her laundry and Nico playing next to her. The little boy was trying to catch large white butterflies, which he could not reach with his short, chubby hands.
Good afternoon. Is Tolpes home?
He is not back yet. Have you not been together? Did something happen?
No, everything is fine. We parted ways in Sintra. I returned home and thought he did the same thing. Here you go. Here is the reward for the captured bandits.
Merigold sprinkled silvers into an already empty laundry basket. Lena didn't hide her surprise.
So much? Gosh, how many bandits were there?
11 smugglers, human traffickers. A wanted poster was sent after them. Tolpes came out of the clash unscathed, and so did I. We freed 3 hostages. Tolpes took them to a healer.
Ah, that explains everything. He went to Radomir. They know each other from the time when Tolpes was studying to be a hunter. That's why he doesn't come back for so long. You know, they can talk for hours, over beer usually. Will you have a dinner with us?
No, thank you. I prefer to return to my bed. It's been a long night.
Lena ran after little Nico. too carelessly going away from home. She left the money in the basket, as if it didn't interest her at all.
I sewed a fur coat for Nico. Would you like to see?
Lena carried unruly boy in her arms. Merigold sighed at the sight of the white and gold garment. She had never seen an animal with such a coloration.
So beautiful, it looks simply wonderful.
It's from a mountain fox. In the winter, they are covered with white hair. In the spring, they turn brown. In the summer, they turn golden. And in the autumn, they start to turn white again. They are prettiest when the belly and paws are already white and the backs are still golden, means at the end of summer. Just like here.
Merigold stroked the downy covering. She craved nothing of objects as much as she craved this beautiful white and gold fur. Something to replace the worn sheepskin she walked around in every winter.
How big are those foxes?
Small. You'd need about 8 skins for you. Why don't you take along Tolpes? The whitening season is approaching, and he will definitely go to the mountains. I already have several orders, but if you provide me with skins for you, I will make it first.
The prospect of spending a few days solely in the company of Tolpes spoiled Merigold's mood. Something in the girl's expression made Lena ask,
Have you had a fight?
Our ways of doing things don't quite match. Neither of us likes to submit to someone else. And each thinks he knows everything better. We are more of lone wolves than team animals.
It's hard to disagree with that. I'm glad you made it home safely. And I'm sorry I left you alone in Sintra yesterday.
He walked up to Lena to kiss her. His wife's narrowed eyes were not the welcome he expected. Only Nico was clearly happy to see his father back and was stretching his arms toward him. Tolpes took the toddler from the wife and tossed him into the air.
How could you leave Goldie alone? After all, she's only 15. What would her parents say? What if something had happened to her? Someone assaulted her? Or raped her?
There is nothing to talk about. I stayed overnight at Torden's place. He is a warrior and a friend of mine. I brought you money. You're part of the reward. See you later.
Goldie. Wait. I'm really sorry. I shouldn't leave you alone, no matter how capable a hunter you are. I did everything alone for too long. Please don't be angry. Do you know any powerful mage in the area?
The last question proved that the apology did not come from the heart, but from a desire to placate Lena. And this goal, the hunter succeeded in achieving.
How powerful.
To make his blood dye this flower purple. I tested several adepts this morning and none had enough power.
I don't know. Maybe Pillas. Maybe Ume, the daughter of the mayor. To make the petal purple, something more is required than pure magical power. How to name it? It is about understanding the nature of the magic.
I barely convinced Pillas to cooperate. This is his petal. Red as you can see. What is the fastest way to get to the Eternal City? And how in their language is a dusty darkling?
Astonishment at the ongoing conversation reached a level of deep consternation in Lena. A flower dyed with blood. A journey to the Eternal City? Some dusty darkling? She waited until Merigold left to demand an explanation. The girl walked away from their house at a normal pace, and Tolpes followed her like an intrusive merchant extolling his wares. Lena picked up Nico and the 4 of them walked to Wolf's Rome together.
Portal, you may buy in the School of Magic to whatever place you desire to go. Except that a 24-hour grace period must be kept between trips. I do not know the language of the Eternal City, but in Sintra's library they should have a dictionary. You may check it there. It would be good to know how that fungus looks like as well, to buy the right one.
What if I don't keep the grace period? What will happen?
There is a risk of death. You may teleport in pieces. A friend of mine lost several fingers this way. Let it go. She is probably already dead. And even if not, she will be dead in one day for sure. You would spend fortune on that fungus and portals and everything for nothing.
2 hours ago, she was still alive. She's not giving up, and I'm not going to either. Can you use anything other than darkling or blood to brew the antidote? Fluorite I have. Fatty fish as well.
Since Etienne discovered the healing properties of the ingredient she always had on hand, she didn't bother with complicated formulas. The blood of a powerful mage provided a remedy for most toxins, even the most dangerous ones. A universal antidote. She remembered how Gabriel had brewed a cure for some wealthy family on the base of her blood, and in gratitude he received a troop of warriors. The memory of the poisoned dinner, served by Finn, brought a smile to the girl's face. The mages of death long remembered the not-so-pleasant welcome and regarded the residents of the palace with a lot of distrust. Once they returned from Eternal's cave, where they resided until Etienne sat on the throne. More and more, Etienne's thoughts and memories filled Merigold's head instead of her own, and they were interesting enough that they didn't bother the teenager at all.
Since you believe so adamantly in her innocence, teleport her to the Crystal Palace. They certainly have Darkling, and also know how to brew an antidote.
Radimer says teleportation will kill her. May I buy the Darkling at the Crystal Palace?
No, healers jealously guard their stock and are not allowed to trade. You should write a request to the Lady of the Crystal Palace and wait for permission. But you will find many mages with the right level of power on the palace grounds. Will you give me one petal? Magia flowers don't grow here. It's a wonder that you managed to purchase them.
Merigold walked faster and faster, but Tolpes didn't want to give up. He followed her, despite Lena's snorting.
Listen, teleporting her is the only way to save her. I remind you that even if you provide me all ingredients, I need at least 6 hours to prepare an antidote. I cannot cast life-prolonging rituals that the healers know. But the decision is yours.
Etienne teleported to Merigold's house. With the white petal in her hand, she went to bed and tried to sleep. Lying on the dressing table, the petal tempted her with its presence. It seemed to say, "Come to me, try it. See what power you have now." Finally, Etienne approached the dressing table. She summoned the dagger of death. She stabbed her forearm and moistened the petal with a drop of her blood. She didn't breathe, waiting for the verdict. She knew that the maga flower does not determine the amount of energy possessed, only the overall magicality of the individual. The efflorescence of red spots made her hand tremble. Red, but what did she expect? She was no longer Etienne. After a moment, purple threads appeared between the red ones. Merigold's heart began to beat faster. There was more and more purple flowing from the edge of the petal to its interior, seeming to blacken, engulfing Merigold and the interior of her bedroom. The girl did not take her eyes off the petal. The purple was brightening, then darkening. For a moment, the petal was completely black.
I have not lost my power. Black. As before. No, not black. What color is that?
Etienne brought a piece of magiflower closer to her eyes. She cast the light to get a closer look at the unusual color.
Dark blue. Dark blue-gray. I don't know. What color is that? What does it mean? I haven't read about such outcome. Black was simply a purple, so dark that it looked like black. But blue?
She hid the petal under her pillow. Blue, another mystery to solve.